Quest Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of Walkers by Graham Masterton, narrated by Andy Ingalls. 1. He took his eyes off the road for no more than an instant, reaching across to the glove compartment to find a Santana tape, when something blurred and grayish-white like a huddled child in a raincoat scampered across the road right in front of him. He shouted, "Ah!" and slammed his foot on the brake, slipped, slammed again. The station wagon slewed sideways across the slippery blacktop, its tire shrieking. Then it bucked and bounced onto the leafy bank and banged loudly against the trunk of an oak tree. Jack killed the engine and sat shaking in his seat. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ Almighty! The misty rain began to prickle the windshield. He had been driving fast, for sure, 50 or 60 miles an hour toward a blind uphill curve, but the visibility hadn't been that poor, and he hadn't done more than glance to one side for just a split second. He didn't know how the hell he could have failed to see a child running out from the side of the road. Jesus Christ, he repeated out loud. His voice sounded flat and unconvincing. He was still shaking uncontrollably. He took a deep breath, unfastened his seatbelt, and climbed out of the car. It was now facing back the way he had come. The offside rear end impacted against the tree. The road and all the woods around it were oddly hushed after the noise of driving. Nothing but the dripping of the rain from the overhanging trees and the intermittent pee-oo, pee-oo of a distant peewee. Woods, woods, and more woods. His mother's father had always hated Wisconsin because of the trees. His mother's father had been a farmer, and to him trees meant stumps. "All these friggin' trees," he used to complain, even in retirement. Jack sniffed, shivered, and looked around. There was no child lying in the road, thank God, and no sign of anybody on the nearby verge. No gray-white raincoat smeared with blood, no twisted training shoe. Tugging up the collar of his sport coat, he negotiated his way back across the churned-up mud, trying not to mess up his new saddle-brown shoes. Because the rubbery tire marks repelled the softly falling rain, he could clearly see where he had slammed on his brakes and where he had started to skid. 4 crisscrossing figure-eights scissoring their way across the tarmac. He hunkered down to look at them more closely. There was nothing to suggest that he might have hit anybody. He didn't think that he had hit anybody. He couldn't remember an impact, except for the final collision against the tree. He turned around, shielding his eyes against the rain, and stared at the front of the station wagon.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?